Discontinued cars often evoke a feeling of nostalgia and fascination among automotive enthusiasts, as they do represent a bygone era of automobile redesign, engineering prowess, and of course innovation. Even though these cars were discontinued, they managed to capture the attention of enthusiasts who revere it simply because of their unique exterior styling and features, performance capabilities, and of course cultural significance. The world of discontinued automobiles are replete with new models that have left an indelible mark in the automotive landscape, from the iconic sports cars to the legendary sedans. So great people today will be delving into such kind of cars that graced our roads back in the days but later on were discontinued. This is Automobi, or we normally say it's all about confidence in motion. Now, to start us off is the Mitsubishi Lancer that is produced, or rather was produced by the Japanese-based manufacturer Mitsubishi. Now, the Lancer, of course, did avail a sports version of it known as the Evo that, of course, did capture the imagination, or rather the attention of car enthusiasts, simply because of its unique exterior styling that was very aggressive, comfort. It was very, it had a top-notch comfort, and in the cabin, and also the engine had very significant figures, that is in regards to horsepower and torque, that made it to be very fast when it comes to 0 to 100 acceleration. Now, the Mitsubishi Lancer was discontinued in 2017, that is years after making its debut in 1973, simply because of the changing customer preferences, where a number of clients, or rather clientele across the world, preferred crossover SUVs and compact cars simply because of their reliability, their spacious cabin, and of course versatility. Those are the things, or rather characteristics that led to the discontinuation of the Mitsubishi Lancer and the Mitsubishi Evo Lancer in the car industry. And also, one thing also to mention is its emission. It did emit a lot of carbon in the atmosphere, something that caught attention of environmentalists who support climate change, and of course, without no further ado, it was later on discontinued. The second popular car that was discontinued is the Toyota Supra. Now, you cannot be talking about speed without mentioning the word Toyota Supra. I mean, this car is known for its serious reliability performance when it came to speed and power, that is in regards to horsepower and torque. And you see, when you talk about speed, it is not only about the engine or the powertrain that drives it. A lot of things are put into consideration, which includes sculpted surfaces and also subtle character lines that help or rather defy the winds, which in turn results to greater improved aerodynamics that help the car to go very fast. So the Toyota Supra had such kind of attributes, something that made it to be one of the most sought after cars back in the days, but it was later on discontinued in 2004, between 2002 to 2005. But again, Toyota decided to reintroduce it in 2019, but this round it faces stiff competition from the likes of the Ferrari, an Italian-made car, and also the Bugatti Veyron, a car that is very fast owing to its aerodynamics, something that I said it is very important to consider how wind, or rather the drag coefficient when it comes to speed. So Toyota Supra was discontinued, first of all because of its carbon emission, and of course number two being that buyer preferences changed and people wanted more of a car that will ferry a number of people, that is compact cars, or rather crossover SUVs, something that made the Toyota Supra not to be very competitive in the market back then in the days. Hence the reason it was discontinued. Now, the Honda S2000 was a two-door convertible roadster that was also discontinued simply because of the changing buyer preferences, something that has affected a number of cars that were discontinued. This car, the Honda S2000, was known for its exterior styling. Wherever you could traverse, this car could traverse anywhere. For sure, it could turn heads owing to its unique exterior styling. And of course, the powertrain under the hood did present, or rather produce, a whopping figure of horsepower and torque that made it to be very fast, and of course giving you an exhilarating driving experience that was full of zest and power. So the Honda S 2000 was also discontinued at the time when there was a global economic crisis that led to decline of sales in the Honda company, that made Honda to decide among their lineup which car to produce and which car to cease their production. And so the Honda S 2000 suffered the fate of being discontinued, but be it as it may, it did outlive its purpose in the automotive landscape. The other car that was discontinued is the Volkswagen Beetle, a German machine that made its debut way back in 1940s during World War, and this car was a two-door car that had a sitting arrangement of 5 people, and its engine was fitted in the rear. Now this car had two faces. One is that it was more of an evolutionary than revolutionary, but then came in the changing customer preferences that made it to be more of revolutionary than evolutionary. I mean, it's all about the dynamics in the market that make car manufacturers to decide which trajectory to go with, either to continue producing cars that are very powerful and do have significant figures in terms of horsepower and torque, or produce cars that befit what the seller wants. So it goes without saying, of course, the manufacturers are also people who are after money. They want to make money, and of course they'll go with the buyer preferences. And so at the time, people decided to opt for SUVs and compact cars, which led to the discontinuation of the mighty Volkswagen Beetle. Now the Volkswagen Beetle makes a very good project car. I mean, I'm also thinking about making this car as my project car, my first project car, simply because it has a lot of dynamics, or rather, you have to be very you have a lot of decisions to make, whether, for example, as to whether you want to retain the air coolant stuff, or you want to replace it with the radiator, which of course will make you swap the engine. Maybe use a Subaru engine or any other kind of engine that will fit inside, rather under the hood of the Volkswagen Beetle. So it's a car that has left a big impression in the car industry, but then a time comes when you have to leave the stage, and so did the Volkswagen Beetle leave the stage. So great people, that is the compilation of the great cars that were discontinued, which could be gracing our roads today, but due to a number of reasons they aren't. But I know there are many other cars that were discontinued, and I know people really love them. So on the comment section down here, kindly comment which kind of car you really love back in the days, but later on discontinued, and maybe you love that someday it will come back to life and grace our roads once again. Something else to note is the introduction of the EV, that is electronic vehicles, and the hybrid vehicles that are really shaping the customer preferences in the market, because everybody is after fuel economy. I mean, performance is good, yes, but keeping in mind the hard times we're living in, everybody is after at least securing a change in their pocket. So fuel eco-conscious individuals, of course, there are very many, and for anytime, given any time, they'll choose fuel efficiency over performance. Hence the reason electric vehicles and hybrids are making their car into the car industry. And of course, not forgetting to mention the climatic changes that are resulting to companies to stop carbon emission and to embrace cars that don't emit carbon into the atmosphere. So people, this has been yet another classic of automobile, but we normally say it's all about confidence in motion. Make sure you do subscribe to this channel and hit the notification button so that whenever I produce a video like this, you get notified. See you tuonane siku ingine.